Hello everyone, Melisandre here with another shoutcast of Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm. Today we'll be using another game from Sieara, our good friend who's been sending me and just lots of great footage for me to shoutcast games with, so big thanks to her, and without further ado, let's get right into the game. So today we're going to be back on the map Shire. If you haven't seen this map before, the secondary objective on this map is to capture 2 shrines on the north and south side of the map. After a team has captured both of these shrines, they can then activate with their hero a Dragon Knight statue in the middle of the map. If activated, the hero will then control the statue for 1 minute or until the health runs out, and it's very useful due to the large damage and damage buff it has against structures, helping to push into the enemy's base and to win the game. So our good friend Sieara is going to be playing Muradin this game. Muradin is a fighter character. Looks like she's looking at her level 1 traits. She's looking at Perfect Storm, an interesting pick. Looking at her abilities, her Q Stormhammer is a line stun ability, and one of the traits right there, you see Perfect Storm, increases the damage by 5 every time you hit an enemy hero with it. And although that doesn't sound like much, over the course of a game, especially during the kind of more, what symbolizes the laning phase at the beginning of the game, where people don't roam quite so much since they want to maintain control on these shrines, you can really get quite a few hits in, and that could stack up to a good 150-200 damage by the end of the game, which could be potentially almost doubling the total damage of that Q. And it looks like she did take that Perfect Storm trait for her Q. Her other abilities on the W is going to be area effect around Muradin, slowing and dealing damage. The E is a short range jump and damage, and the passive combat trait is an ability that causes Sieara on Muradin to heal for a portion of her total health after not taking damage for 6 seconds. The healing is also increased when at lower health. Sieara is going to be in this top lane right now. She's by herself against the siege tank. The siege tank does have Abathur, so it seems Abathur is on the enemy team. The siege tank just bashing away on those minions with that long-range area of effect attack with a bit of help from Abathur to also push this lane. Sierra does throw out that Q, testing the range of it, does not end up landing it. And it looks like Zeratul for the enemy team has also come into this top lane. The shrine will be spawning in 21 seconds. Oh, good job of Sierra. Dwarf tossing it on to, let's call him Spec on Zeratul. By hitting him and doing damage to Spec, Sierra actually brought him out of invisibility, making it then so he could be targeted with target abilities such as an auto attack, which is the only targeted ability that Muradin actually has at this point. Although with the 2-on-1 in this top lane and potentially the 3-on-1 with the support of Abathur, Sierra is making, I believe, the right decision, not really trying to contest this shrine. If she were to contest it in the 1v2 or 1v3 situation, the only thing that would result was the enemy would take the shrine just a little bit later, and she would also die, giving them bonus experience and losing experience for her team in the process. Now, looks like this Zeratul on her team is coming up. I'm going to call this man Jen. So Jen and Sierra in this top lane gonna take back this shrine for the blue team. Good job from Sierra, seeing Spec on Zeratul coming in with invisibility. Seeing that shimmer area, she threw out her Q, did stun him, dealing damage, and also broke the invisibility. Now there, the siege tank in siege mode cannot move until he takes a trait later on in his levels. And because he could not move and he did not take himself out of cannon stance, they did just flat out just hit him enough times just to flat out just kill him. And he also gets bonus damage, the tank does, when he's hitting farther away targets. So hitting targets that are right on top of him is definitely far from ideal for that siege tank character. Sierra has taken a bit of damage. She has mounted up. Looks like she's going to go back to that health shrine just to get herself topped off and health and mana. Looking down, it looks like it'll be just about enough to fill her up on both of those. So looks like it was a good choice, getting that health shrine early, making sure she's getting the most use out of that. She has hit her Q a few times. It'll be interesting to see how far it's stacked later on. Zeratul has returned to the top lane. It looks to be an AI now. It looks like Spec has disconnected. Oh, but now he's back. You can see the name changing above the head to signify the character who is here and who's not. The W coming out of Sierra there, you can see that ability that it seems she's taken the trait that leaves behind an field after exploding and slowing enemies again who remain in that field, just having a good kind of 1-2 damage, just upping her damage a little bit on Muradin, this fighter character. Now it looks like the enemies have once again captured this northern shrine. The tank has come back, Zeratul has as well, so she's once again returned to this 1v2 situation. Those little landmines coming out of Abathur, which he can cast nearly globally, and globally once he's taken the trait for it. Just kind of helping try to get some damage on Sierra and to push the lane for the red team. Looks like the tank is pretty much just camping that shrine in that siege mode. Sierra not having interest in contesting it, probably causing the red team to lose experience. I don't know if the Siege Tank is actually close enough to get experience from these minions. He definitely will get experience if he damages them. Zeratul just south of that wall. You can see his invisibility. He did blink over on top of Sierra. Sierra's taken a lot of damage from the Siege Tank. However, Illidan has come up and might be able to get the revenge kill on the Siege Tank on Ron. But the knockback does come out of the Siege Tank, and in the 1v2, Illidan doesn't feel safe and tries to back out, but blink over the wall from Spec does get the kill on Illidan, who hung around in that bush for a little too long. Taking another trade for her Q, Sierra has taken the one that allows her stun on the Stormhammer to hit 2 targets instead of 1. Oh, a little bit of lag there, sorry about that. So she'll be able to stack it twice as fast and also stun twice as many people. Good trait, and look, she's currently stacked 25 extra damage onto that Q. Just jumping out onto Ron. Raj, Jen coming out as well. Gets stunned. Good job hitting the Q from Sierra. A little bit more damage. Just one more hit. And they do get the kill. Good job by Raj getting that blink and cleave combo to help them secure that kill. Sierra utilizing her Dwarf Toss, jumping right over that wall to capture this shrine for the blue team. That will be both shrines for the blue team. And now it's going to be up to the heroes in the middle lane to try to capture that Dragon Knight. Zeratul on Spec has returned to this top lane. Sierra's going around, not quite wanting to risk trying to jump over that wall. Does throw out the stun, hitting 2 minions, however, not landing the stun on Zeratul. Looking at the experience, red team is up almost an entire level on the blue team. Looking over that bars on the kind of middle bottom right. Zeratul has left the lane for now. Thought he might be going up to capture that shrine, but he has just full on disappeared. Sierra now just pushing the wave, using her double explosion on that W, helping to do some more damage to those minions. Ron has returned to this top lane on the Siege Tank, whose name you might have noticed is evading me currently. Sorry about that. Now the heroic ability can be chosen for the blue team, and taking a look, 2 options, Avatar or Haymaker. She is going to take Avatar, giving herself significantly more health, I believe 1,250 health at level 10. As well as stunning enemies on auto attack. Sierra has jumped in on Ron, just out of range of turrets, gets some good damage in, using all of her abilities, although still as the fighter, having traded more for CC than for damage, and also for tankiness. Sierra not doing quite too much damage to that specialist. Siege Tank sieging up right in front of his turrets, help defending it so the minions don't quite push up to it. Sierra just hitting him with some Qs, stacking it up. Gonna go ahead and push this lane again, using her W, getting that double damage clear on. Ron keeps thinking like he might want to go up and capture that top shrine. Oh, Zeratul coming back to this top lane. Did not see him coming in. Double stun, good job from Sierra. You can really see her utilizing that trait, hitting both Ron and Spec with that Q. Getting double stun and double the stacking. Ron did use his speed up the tank, not having a mount actually, but has a 30-second cooldown ability on his Z button, which allows him to move 50% faster. Or more actually, I'm not quite sure. It is faster than a horse, and he can do that for, I believe, 5 seconds. Once again, the Siege Tank on Ron has, once again, kind of locked up, sieged himself up behind that grass wall. Zeratul once again controlled by the AI. Oh, heroic ability coming out of Illidan, and Raj coming up as well. Gonna try to get the kill on the AI Zeratul, and they do get the kill. Good job from Illidan utilizing that ability. A bit of a pity, he was kind of taking advantage of an AI possibly. Sierra using her jump, a little bit of danger. ETC and the cannon are doing good damage, but the ultimate comes out, giving her a lot of health. She is going to be stunning with her auto attacks, I believe. Although there probably is an internal cooldown on her ability to stun. And you can see she did get, she did stun the Siege Tank there briefly. Not quite sure what the internal cooldown is on that stun auto attack. Now they're going in 3v1, 3v2 actually, on the ETC, assisted by, oh, good try by Sierra, trying to jump over that wall. Looks like she was going to get it, but was not quite able to get over. But as I was saying, ETC, who previously had the assistance of Abathur in this top lane, was trying to contest that top shrine, but 3v2 and 3v1 after Abathur left him, just too much for him, and he does try to get out to safety. But maybe I spoke too soon. Oh, that's why the shrine disappeared, because the blue team has captured the very first Dragon Knight. Good job of the blue team to get that objective. 48 seconds remain on the Dragon Knight. He's pushing down this mid lane with assistance from 2 of his heroes. 3 now, as Raj comes in as well to assist Fracture on Jim Raynor, and Furian on Illidan. Probably just say Illidan instead. Bit easier. Ron has sieged up by their fort. He has taken the trade, allowed him to move slowly while in siege fort. Does look a little bit silly, but hey. Actually looks like he's hovering, has kind of air thing underneath. Illidan does it on Ron, doesn't get very much damage however, as ETC comes in with the power slide for the protection. Meat Rock on the Dragon Knight, just bashing away on that fort. I believe he will be able to take that fort down. 15 seconds remain on the Dragon Knight, still has half his health remaining. The ETC goes very low, and the kick from Meatrock actually does get the kill. 4 heroes for the blue team remain, but they're all very, very low. Illidan does go down. A little bit of an overstay from Illidan. Sierra does jump in on Uther, getting the kill with the assistance of Meatrock, who is playing Tassadar. Now it looks like Abathur does seem to be able to use the symbiote on dead heroes, but I do believe, if I remember the patch notes correctly, on the current patch, that is actually not going to be something that he can do. Just a bit of a difference. This is one of the older games before the previous patch, so those changes to Uther and the changes to the symbiote on Abathur have not quite gone through during this video. Fight going out in the middle lane, 3v2. They do get the kill on the siege tank, although looking back at Sierra, she goes back into this top lane. Minions have pushed in. They've destroyed both of the towers and the gate in this top lane. The wall's still standing, however, and not any damage. Maybe just a small portion of damage has been put down on the structures. And man, that moon shrine, that healing shrine, just taking so much damage so quickly. Does not have very much health. The minions themselves can take that down very quickly. Sierra has taken a trait, giving her an area effect burning around her so that all enemies nearby will take damage every second. I believe the damage does scale with level. She can take another trait now, see which one she's looking at. It's going to be pushed in, taking a look, pushing in on this wall. And she is going to take the stone form is the one she looked at, and she does take the stone form. When activated, it's D button activated alongside her passive, which will not work after when it's on cooldown, but it allows her to heal for 40% of her total health. If Sierra does get low, activating that in the middle of a fight when you wouldn't normally get your passive healing due to having taken damage within 6 seconds, allows Sierra to get very, very strong regeneration, kind of a Mundo-esque character if you've played League of Legends. Ron is hiding behind that wall, cannot be targeted by abilities as long as that gate stands. With the assistance of Abathur. Jumping from Sierra, however, is going to bash it down. Does land the Q on Ron, stunning him up briefly. But Ron moving forward with Abathur's support, or I should say crawling forward, or floating forward might be more apt. Shrines are going to be up in 3 seconds. Sierra in position, ready to take this top shrine. Good job controlling objectives. Looks like Tassadar in the bottom lane, or excuse me, Zeratul possibly. Can't quite tell from the small image on the minimap. Ready to take that bottom shrine. Top shrine has been captured by Sierra. Now she's fighting Ron, has brought out the ultimate, doing some pretty good damage. Ron, although not taking damage very quickly. Oh, Abathur coming in for the assistance, giving Ron a bit of shield. Sierra looks like she wanted to back off, but as Abathur left, she went right back in on Ron, just tanking these turrets. But the turrets are not out of ammunition, so it's just going to be 1v1, or it would have been, but Sierra is going to back off. Does fall a little bit low, didn't want to quite risk fighting that 1v1 when she was low against the specialist cannon, who does, I believe, have better scaling damage into the later levels. Jumping back, gonna go pick up that health shrine, probably gonna stay in this top lane. Zeratul has been killed by the red team, and good job from Sierra taking this top shrine has allowed her team once again to capture the Dragon Knight. Dragon, however, is falling very low in the mid lane, not quite getting the support it did in the last time. Now, on this map, it's kind of interesting to see if you want to have everyone go support that Dragon Knight, all 5 people in one lane with 4 assisting, or do you want to have 3 with the Dragon Knight push and then 1 in each of the individual lanes so they aren't losing experience and also you maintain pressure in the other lanes of the map. And I have seen both of these arguments kind of put forth. Some people think you should definitely support the Dragon Knight 100%, but other people think, you know, if all 5 of us go with that Dragon Knight, it is possible, just like in League of Legends when someone does a 5-man push-up mid, it is just as possible for the enemy to put 3 people in that lane, and with support of towers and structures as well as minions, 3 people might be able to defend that Dragon Knight push from 5 just as well, so that in the long run, once everything has settled down, those 2 people they have pushing in other lanes might be able to take more objectives, take down more structures than the 5 with the Dragon Knight were able to push against the 3 defending. Now, personally, I'm of the opinion that it is the better option most of the time to have the Dragon Knight to be supported by 2 individuals and have 2 or 3 individuals and having 1 or 2 people pushing for your team in the other lanes so that you don't fall behind experience, and if the enemy team does decide to split up their own forces and try to, jump in by Zeratul there, getting the kill on the enemy Zeratul. But just to finish the thought, I do think it's a better idea to have a balanced response with some people on defense, some on offense, because the Dragon Knight allows you to kind of have this damage output of greater number of people ultimate coming out of the siege tank there, not be able to get any kills. Illidan very low, gonna run out. Raj, however, does fall to ETC with a bit of help from Ron crawling for it on the siege tank. ETC still going on Sierra, who has activated her ultimate. The ultimate has come out of Abathur as well, who fires off his own ultimate, that giant missile you see passing through all enemies and doing damage to enemies and structures along the path. Sierra, a little bit low. Oh, it does activate her passive, however. You can see that little green bar healing her for just a huge amount of health. 370 health every second is a massive amount. However, ETC and both the siege tanks are still in pursuit. Sierra trying to escape. Her ultimate has ended, but oh, Illidan flying in, doing massive damage to ETC, does get the kill. Great job from Illidan using that heroic ability. And just when that happens, perfect timing for the blue team. Abathur, his ultimate with a clone of the tank, did end just then. So Sierra actually ends up not dying, and Illidan just doing great damage very quickly, just showing how much an assassin could do even to a fighter like ETC. Comes in, picks up a kill, and just totally turns the situation around. I thought Sierra was for sure dead there. Yes, she was getting away slowly, but the damage with the tanks and the CC coming out of ETC, I thought was going to be able to get the kill, but I was wrong. Good job from Illidan getting the kill. Now in this top lane, Uther has used his heroic ability on Sierra, getting that stun, bashing away at her with the support of Abathur. Sierra taking almost a half health, but her combat trait will be up in just a few seconds. She could activate that Shrine if she wanted to, but it's going to fall in just one more hit. She does probably, yeah, she's not going to activate that. But with the help of the fort, she does get the kill on Uther. Good job from Sierra. Good use of her ultimate form, helping her tank out that 1v2 or almost a 1v3 fight in this top lane. Oh, excuse me. Fracture was actually on her side. I thought the Grim Rainer was an enemy hero, but that was a 2v2, which was significant help, especially with having that assassin high DPS damage in winning that fight. Misspoke there. Sorry about that. Both shrines have once again been captured for the blue team. They've been completely dominant in capturing these shrines, and again they have taken their third Dragonite in this game. Not one Dragonite has been taken by the red team.
An ally has been slain.
And it looks like they're going to be pushing in mid. Sierra in this top lane, just going to bash down on this fort, using her ability to try to clear these minions while getting the fort down. And you think maybe she'll be taking too much damage, but with the ammo system and Heroes of the Storm, so much attrition has been done to this fort from minions rolling in. And you now have mercenaries coming in as well, that Sierra can take this fort and take no damage in return because it is out of mana. Now Sierra with minions in this top lane are going to continue to push while her hero allies have taken down the fort in the mid lane, are continuing to push in. And this push from Sierra with the enemy so distracted by the Dragonite is probably going to be able to take down not just one fort, but probably these walls and maybe even a second fort as well. Dragonite has ended, and three heroes for the blue team have actually fallen. And only one has fallen, is currently on death timer for the red team. But no one has yet appeared in this top lane. It looks like one of the heroes for the blue team is still in that mid lane, and it looks like the red team are chasing him. Whereas they really should be defending. They're chasing for that kill. Looks like two people on the red team are. Now just one. Cannon has come up to the top lane using his speed, but Sierra has pushed out multiple structures that the red team did not need to give up in this game. Ron trying to get some damage in, but at close distance, his damage is cut in half. Ultimately coming down of Sierra. Okay, not going to chase on him. Doesn't want to get too close to that healing area. Rod coming back in, however, still low. Does not go back and heal. It is going to die. That was a mistake. He could have healed. I mean, I guess he was worried he was going to give up this this fort. But going back in with under a quarter health against the almost full health, very tanky, and Sierra on Muradin. But that was just a mistake. He could have very well just taken even just a few ticks of heals. Just a few more ticks of that heal would have taken only a few seconds to do. ETC now trying to brawl out with Sierra. But, you know, ETC just doesn't have the damage. And, and Sierra getting another kill still with almost full health. Although it didn't look like ETC was actually even hitting Sierra at the end there. It looks like he was hitting minions. Not quite sure what he was doing there. But Sierra, with the stacking on her Q, the double hit on her W, as well as the burning aura around her, has allowed her to do a good amount of damage while also being significantly tanky with her ultimate, as she has skeletons in the later portion of the game. Sierra tool for the enemy team is still an NPC, and has almost died. Ultimate coming out of Abathur, cloning the Zeratul as well. You can see him there, a little bit of fuzzy field, trying to get some damage in, has activated his ultimate. You can see because he's doing those little leaps with every auto attack, but, you know, Sierra just stunned them up with the Q. The slow field came down out of Meat Rocket, and they just flat out killed him. So looking around, the shrines have once again activated. Top shrine has already been taken by Gem Rainer on the blue team, and it looks like Muradin is on Sierra is looking to go back into the south lane and try to take that shrine as well. Her teammates, however, are there. Raj and Meat Rocket are going to be able to capture this for the red team, or blue team, excuse me. And Gem Rainer, perfect timing, is just about at that Dragonite in the middle lane. However, looking at the minimap, it looks like some people on the red team are there to contest. Sieara pushing down the minions in this bot lane before moving up toward the middle. Ultimate coming out of Illidan does go on to Ron. Don't know if he can be able to get the kill. Looks like he did chase. Ultimate coming out of Uther. Big stun, only hitting Fracture, I believe. Ultimate you can see flying by there out of the tank. But he does fall to Illidan, although Illidan, very low as well, might be dying to Uther. Uther with the assist of Abathur does not actually chase down to get the kill. Trying to chase past multiple enemy heroes on the blue team. They do get the kill on Uther. Huh. Not quite sure what killed Zeratul there, but it seems like he did fall to someone on the blue team. ETC doing good damage on Meat Rocket playing Tassadar. But kick away from Sierra on the Dragon Knight is going to get him out of the fight temporarily. Now, 3 heroes are still dead for the red team. But Abathur cloning ETC has come into the fight. Meat Rocket and Illidan are both very low. But Sierra is trying to get out of this structure. She doesn't have the support, however, and all the damage coming out of that palace, as well as the 2 ETCs, were enough to take down the Dragon Knight. However, Sierra still having full health, still a few seconds left before the red team heroes are going to be back. But Sierra is going to retreat. Illidan staying with very low health. This is a mistake. I'm not sure what Illidan is doing. He doesn't have the health to do anything. He uses his dash away. I don't know why he's still here. He needs to just go back and heal. Ultimate coming out of the Abathur ETC, using that stun, that 4-second stun, forcing Sierra to dance. But Sierra is too tanky, does get the double stun. The double W now hitting on Durin as well. But the allied heroes for the red team are once again back alive. Ultimate coming out of the real ETC, stunning up Sierra long enough for Uther to come in to assist, get the damage in for the kill. However, Sierra did take the heroic trait at level 20 that allows her to spawn almost instantly upon death. Very, very intelligent pickup actually from her. Realizing maybe that if she wanted to push more aggressively later in the game, that she would want to be able to get right back into the fight. And maybe she just didn't quite value the bonus trait to her R. However, 2 heroes for the blue team are going to fall, getting caught out by Uther. By 4 members actually of the red team, but a 2v5 in this middle lane, quick pickup kill on the enemy Zeratul by Zeratul and Sierra. Sierra now bashing in on Ron at close damage. Ron does significantly less damage, using all of her abilities. Oh, Abathur coming in for the support on Ron. Sierra actually might fall. This is devastating. Oh man, all heroes for the blue team are currently dead, I believe. Yeah, no one on the map. This might be a bit of a throw, folks. Well, you know, they do have all their forts still, so if the red team wants to actually come back and totally win this, they're going to have to do a lot of damage in a short amount of time. They do have long death timers, but Illidan ends up having fallen a very long time ago in that base. But Sierra not getting very good use out of that level 20 trait, allowing her to spawn back to life instantly. There is a cooldown for that. You can see in the bottom next to her other things. You can see she has taken the spell shield, it looks like, ability. I believe that's what... No, that means she's invulnerable because she is dead. Technically in the fountain, she's invulnerable. And you can see that timer, that cooldown on that trait, allowing her to respawn very quickly after death. Illidan has one in the mid team. Uther uses ultimate, but does not actually hit Illidan with it, just hitting the structures. Bit of an interesting choice by him there. Probably didn't realize that Illidan was out of range. Ultimate coming out of Abathur has cloned the tank, getting that extra specialist damage on these structures. Siege tank very, very effective at taking down structures with bonus damage at long range. Ultimate coming out of one of the tanks there, that big rocket coming across the screen. 4v3 in this middle lane, however, Illidan under half health. Meat Rocket has used his Twilight Messiah ultimate, doing air effect damage to the enemies. Illidan getting stunned up, taking good damage, is going to fall to the damage of the red team. However, Mirage coming in from the behind, quick damage onto Uther is going to be able to get the kill on him as well. Now it's just bloodbath as the blue team in full force just completely destroys multiple heroes from the red team. Zeratul trying to escape with the speed buff coming out of the shield of Abathur. It looks like he is going to be able to get away. You can see him just on the edge of the field of vision for the blue team. And with with 4 members up for the blue team and Illidan still in the death timer, this could be the game-winning push. 3 heroes, I believe, are currently down for the red team, only having Zeratul having that NPC is just an awkward situation. Abathur, not much he can do by himself without his ability to clone or without allied heroes. He's throwing out those mines, doing what he can. But with such a long timer on his allies left in this game, I don't see there's any way for him to be able to hold this off. Sierra throwing out her ultimate just in case she has to tank. And with 3 blue heroes on this palace, there's just no way they're going to stop this in time. It's a real pity that their last remaining member that was not Abathur was the AI. He just didn't know how to play safe, didn't stay back, wasn't able to defend the turret. And so the blue team, having superior numbers, and they did win that fight. Even if it was a human, they probably would have still lost, but they do get that win. good job by both teams. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content. I'll be uploading videos daily, and I'll see you guys next time.